Shalom. First and foremost, before I begin this lesson, I want to say, call hello, Yahweh Ba'Hashem Yahushai Ba'Hashem Achah Kodash. Double honors go out to the apostles, elders, great millstone, Baruah, teach well. Shalom, wa barakium to you brothers and sisters out there. This is the brother Malachi from the Great Millstone Nashville camp. And Lord willing that this lesson is edifying to the hopeful elect. Right, I seen this video right here. I got up on the screen. I had watched the whole thing. I'd actually seen this video before, but it came back, up on my feed. Came back up on my feed yesterday or 2 days ago. I think yesterday is really. I've been listening to some like true crime lately, some stories, and I seen a comment, which I think that's actually what this lesson was going to be based off of originally. I seen a comment where somebody was saying, once you become an adult and you start hearing about all these stories, all these different people that have committed heinous acts, heinous crimes, it just makes you start to lose, as they say in the world, lose faith in humanity. Which you should never have faith in Esau, Edom in the first place. All right, that's number one. But any of these wicked, evil people out here, because they're godless, right? That people profess that they believe in God, and some may even say they believe in the Bible, but they don't follow anything contained within the scriptures. These people are wicked, man. All right, they're evil, and whether it be a serial killer or a child predator, or even just somebody that just commits adultery, or is a homosexual, or somebody that eats pork, or smokes cigarettes, all these different things. Now, I'm not saying, obviously, smoking cigarettes and being a child predator are nowhere near on the same level of wickedness. But wickedness as a whole, lawlessness, has to go, okay? And it's going to be put out. As a matter of fact, let me get that real quick. And bear with me, because I am on the road. Alright, 2nd Ezra chapter 6, verse 27 to 28. It says, "For evil shall be put out, and deceit shall be quenched. As for faith, it shall flourish. Corruption shall be overcome, and the truth which hath been so long without fruit shall be declared." So we're in the time where evil is going to be put out. Alright, and like I was saying, whether that be, the most wicked things that somebody can do, the most depraved things that somebody can do, all the way down to, things that these average Joe Schmo people do. All wickedness as a whole in its entirety is going to get put out of the earth. But the fact, Salaki, because going back to that comment, somebody had said, it shows just how evil this world is and how evil a lot of people are. And somebody said, no, it's the good news is these crazy people that we're hearing about, in some of these cases and all that, that's just a small group of the earth. Most people on the earth are good people. That's not true, bro. That's not true at all. Okay, and the Joker said it in the Dark Knight movie. He said it spot on. He said these civilized people, when the chips are down, they're going to eat each other. All right, your neighbor, your co-worker, your cousin, your uncle, all these different people. When society collapses and breaks down, you're going to see their true colors, and you're going to see what type of person they actually are. Do they actually have any ounce of integrity within their body? And for people that put trust in worldly people, and that put trust in the world at all, you're going to be very disappointed in the results that you conclude with. Okay, you're going to find out that your favorite cousin can't go 48 hours without food. Okay, you're going to find out that your co-worker, he can't stand seeing his kids cry. People are going to make very impulsive decisions, as they already do. People are already on edge and emotional and, irrational. when it comes to problem solving. All right, people blow things out of proportion. It's like these people, there's things that they take too seriously that ain't that deep. And then there's things that they don't take seriously enough. And then also, let me get this, Isaiah chapter 5, verse 20. Woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. And that's exactly what this world does. All right, everything that is actually righteous, everything that's actually good, people in this world, they look at with disgust. All right, they mock it, they make fun of the words that Yahweh Shemel Shai, the prophets, and which the prophets have the words of Yahweh Shemel Shai, but I'm saying, we'll be up there in ancient apparel teaching the word, trying to wake up the elect. Somebody will come by talking about it's a bunch of grown men with bed sheets. Like, no, this is ancient apparel, right? This is who the world ignorantly called Jesus Christ. This is what he wore, a garment down to the foot. So, like, what are you talking about? These people have no regard for Yahweh Shemel Shai and for the scriptures. All right, which is why it says in Proverbs 1 that the Lord is going to laugh at your calamity. He's going to mock when your fear comes, because that warning has been going out. All right, we've been telling you that this world is wicked and that it's going down a very dark path, and the end game is wickedness is going to be blotted out from the earth. And if you're wicked, you're going to be blotted out with it. Now we understand that all Israel's going to receive the kingdom and everybody, gets reincarnated. But what I mean by blotted out is you're going to have to face that death by pain. I'm talking about you Israelites that don't want to listen. You're going to get that 2nd Ezra 9 and 12. You're going to get that Zechariah 14 and 12. Okay? You're going to receive that death by pain. You're going to get hit with them nuclear missiles. You're going to melt. Some of you are going to die from cannibalism, from famine, from pestilence, from martial law troops. You're playing a dangerous game, man. But back to this, fucking demon of an individual here, which there's no doubt in my mind that this individual is from the lineage of Esau, Okay, but, if you want, watch this video, because it goes into, because this isn't the only guy. People will look at this and say, oh my God, he's so depraved. He is depraved, and he is very fucked up. Well, that's the same thing, but he's completely wicked as hell. But there's a lot worse people. All right, what a lot of these sheeple, as Jake call them, what these sheeple don't understand is the rulers of the earth themselves do worse things than this. Okay, they're tied into satanic rituals and things of that nature, which tend to involve children and blood and animals, and just bug the fuck out. And the reason why we know for a fact, first of all, like scripts say, I want to say Proverbs 29:2, it says, when the wicked beareth rule, the people mourn. Yeah, the people mourn. So that, and we look at the state of the people, so that's how we know in itself that this world is not governed by righteousness, right? But then you got this. Whoops, sorry. Job chapter 9, verse 24. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covereth the faces of the judges thereof. If not, where and who is he? So, if it's not Esau Edom, collectively known as the so-called white man, then who is it? Who is doing the abominations on that type of scale? Who rules the earth? Who's putting GMOs in the food and fluoride in the water and chemtrails? All right, barium, aluminum. Who's doing these things, right? Who runs these trafficking rings? Who runs these drug operations? Who's really actually running these things behind the scenes? And not even per se behind the scenes, in the wide open too, in the broad daylight. This man barely even be hiding nowadays. Okay? These people barely be even hiding nowadays. They're not hiding their crimes. Because Esau, you know, he's in the mindset now, he's so proud. He's like, these people are so docile that, you know, they ain't gonna do nothing to stop us. You know, and technically speaking, there ain't nothing that somebody can do physically anyway. Which is why we constantly tell Jake, you know, stop with the carnality. Okay, stop with trying to, you know, trying to raise up like some militia. That's not the way. Okay, this is a spiritual battle. We're fighting wickedness in high places. That's why we're prophesying. That's why we pray. That's why we fast. You know, this is a spiritual war, a spiritual battle. Esau's blessing is the sword. Right? We're not taking this man down carnally, man. You know, a prime example. I mean, all of the tribes. You look at all the tribes, but look at the tribe of Levi. Which, albeit they still technically used spiritual means, but it was on the left-hand side, you know, to fuel their carnality. We talk about witchcraft, right, voodoo. But you see what the end result of that was. We're not going to carnally overcome Esau Edom. All right? And matter of fact, because the way to really combat wickedness is to oppose the flesh. Now, does that mean that you're not going to do fleshly things per se? No, of course you will. I mean, look, we're in the flesh, right? We're in these mortal bodies that are corrupted and evil. Like it says in Jeremiah, the heart is desperately wicked. Who can know it? But you still have to have some sort of decorum about yourself. You have to rehearse the righteous acts, right? You got to have an upright spirit. You got to be in the right mind. You know? But that's basically all I got to say. I'm not just going to ramble on. So Lord wanted that this lesson was edifying. You know, best believe Yahweh Shemel Shai is going to cut the wicked off, man. All right, because we need a world governed by righteousness. Jake is tired, bro. We're fucking tired as hell. I know, you know, the apostle elders all the way down to us young brothers, we're tired of Babylon. We're drained, right? This place wears down the saints, okay? Every day we're battling ourselves, battling demons, right? Got outside problems going on. Then we look around and, you know, the people around us are just getting more and more evil, more and more depraved. You know, they're getting further away from God. Bear with me one second. Yeah. So, Lord, when this lesson was edifying, before I close, I want to give all praises to Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai Ba'Shem Rakha Kodash. Give honors well to the Apostle Elder Great Millstone,